Afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello. Since I'll be talking for the next 55 minutes, Costas, do you want to say a few words to open the session?
No, I have said a lot of words during the first three sessions, so the floor is yours now.
Okay, great. So I'm happy to take on the next few sessions and talk about actual tools for academics, for higher education, for education in general. And I wanted to actually begin with some foundational, like terminology, literacy things. So because I know that some people are a little confused with all the different tools, and there are tons of tools. I teach AI. I teach AI innovation. In addition to being an English teacher, I teach AI to students at a university, and I teach the use of AI among faculty members already for several semesters. And I use AI myself every day, lots of different tools. So I feel really relaxed already. I'm not anxious anymore. I know where to go, what to do. And I want to share a little bit of the experience that I've had with different tools, and um, and also my own fears and confusions and how I solved them and how I organized everything for myself in my brain. Everything is organized. I know what AI is about. I know how it works. I also know the names of all the different tools, different companies, different models, different applications. And it's not something that everyone feels really comfortable in. I'm really excited to share a little bit of this knowledge, and maybe we can discuss some of the things. So when you access our Moodle, and again, I know that with some of you were in discussions over email. I need to fix somebody's username, and I remember that I will fix it after today's session. But once you have proper access to our Moodle, I want to show you this section that is devoted to this particular session today. Let me share my screen. We're talking about AI tools for teaching, right? This is the name of our COIL course. And I will share the screen with you now to show you how this session is structured. Okay, so our fourth session, so the first three sessions were delivered by Professor Petridis, how to think with AI prompting and AI detection and cheating and all that. Fascinating discussions and thoughts and links. You can find all the recordings over there. So starting from this week, we are diving into actual tools and strategies and workflows and lots of names of different tools and platforms. And I don't want you to be confused. So today we will go into the foundation, into the basics, which is actual large language models, so LLMs. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the term, with the definition, with what it is, and you feel confident that you understand the difference between company names, model names, platform names, and whether this or that platform is actually a large language model or not, because this is also a question we will tackle today. So let's see. How confident, let's check a little bit of temperature check in the chat. How confident are you with your own understanding of large language models, what they are, what they're not? And when I say, for example, Perplexity, do you know if this is a large language model or not? If you even know what Perplexity is, just to show you. Okay, and I'm asking you just to maybe give me a number between 0 and 10. 10 means complete understanding, 100%, probably, close to my feeling confident. 0 means like you have no idea what large language models actually mean, what they are. All right, so we have a wide range from 0 to, what's the highest? I think 8. Okay. 3, 2 out of 10, 3, 5, 0, 2, 2, 2. This is recorded, and when you watch the recordings, right, you don't see the chat. So some of you said 3, some of you said 7, and lots of 2s and 0 and some zeros as well. And some of you just wrote in words, no idea. or not confident at all. And some of you say it's the first time you hear the word LLM. Okay. You see, when you live in this world, like I live, I read AI updates and articles every day, like 10, 15 articles, emails, newsletters, updates, news. I try different tools every day. So for me, it's like the basics, but obviously most educators don't use this language every day. So let's find out what it is, actually, right? Okay. All right, excellent. So when you click on this section, let's begin step by step. When you click on this section on our impact Moodle, what I have created for you is a list of tools that I thought were relevant for discussion of large language models. Now, some of these tools are actually large language models, LLMs, okay? And some of these are not. Okay, so now let's see. Some of you said you're 7, you're 8. Those of you who said 0, you probably will now discover for yourself that you actually know something. You know what? I can actually copy this full list for you in the chat. Done. Now, look at this list and try to either guess or identify the large language models that you are familiar with or heard about. So just write at least 2 names that you think is a large language model. And then we will move on to the next question. What is not a large language model in this list? And for many of you, like probably the list is like a Chinese, right? All these are new names. Let's see. Okay, so Copilot and ChatGPT, Johannes said, these are large language models. Okay. Grok, ChatGPT, Gemini. Excellent. We have Perplexity. We have just one, ChatGPT. Okay. Comet, Grok. All right. Okay. So thank you. Thank you for your responses. Excellent. Excellent. So Michal says that large language models are, wow, the chat is running so fast. I can't even stop and read the message, but I will go up and try to read it again. And let's see if you're right. Most of you have like half right. Some of the answers are correct, some of them are wrong. So ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Grok are large language model. This is one of the answers, and this is correct. It's actually a correct answer. Those of you who put Copilot, do we even have Copilot here? We do. Copilot, right? Microsoft Copilot. So Microsoft Copilot is not a large language model. It's a platform. It's a product by a company that works with some large language models. We'll talk about it in a moment. Now, one more question before we dive in and actually try to understand what these are and how they work. So out of the list of these 20 names of different tools, products, these are tools, products, apps, some of these equal large language model. So how many of these are you actually familiar with out of 20? 20 is the full list. So I'm familiar with 20. I've tested all of them. Give me your number. Some of you will say maybe 1, some of the ChatGPT, some of you will say 3, some of you will say 4, 5. We have 3, 1, 3, 2. Okay. 4, 3, 4, 1, 6. One person gave 6. 2 people said 5. 5 tools out of 20. We have a 7. We have 3 again, and 4s and 3s, and another 7. Excellent. And another 6. Perfect. Okay, thank you for your responses. Okay, so I was thinking, how do I demonstrate what a large language model is? It's not going to be a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to go and actually show you some large language models in action. And my idea and the outcome of today's session is going to be a guide for you guys. It's going to be called an exclusive teacher's guide to LLMs, to large language models. And I know this title is not very clear because some of you have heard LLM for the first time right now in the last 10 minutes. So let's change the name. It's going to be an exclusive teacher's guide to AI. right? Big name is AI that everyone kind of knows and heard about it. It's everywhere. So what is AI? I have another maybe illustration for you. Let me stop here for a second. I'll show you another illustration so we know the framework. Where does LLM fit within the understanding of AI? I have this real nice illustration I will share on my screen. I think I already showed it before, but I will do it again. 1 second. And then we will proceed to the guide that I put together for you. So 1 moment. I need to go to another course and open this here. 1 sec. LLMs. Just a second. Okay. Here it is. Okay, so when it comes to LLMs, right? This is just somewhere here. It's a large language model. ChatGPT is an example of a large language model, and AI is a general big term that covers all of these different terms. So again, we're not going to go deep into the understanding of AI. I personally have some background in artificial intelligence. My master's degree from 20 years ago was in applied linguistics, and we did have artificial intelligence courses because I did my master's in Ukraine, and there we actually studied coding, computer science. We studied one of my seminar papers 20 years ago was creating a chatbot, customer service chatbot AI thing, right? So kind of was part of the course. So we did talk about large machine learning and artificial neural networks and deep learning, and all of these are parts of the puzzle that actually led to the explosion of generative AI, right? So AI is very, very big and not a very new field when you look in like decades of knowledge and research from the 20th century, right? From the beginning of the 20th century, actually, the term was coined back then, almost actually 100 years ago, believe it or not. But in order to get to the state where we are right now with AI, right, all of these layers of knowledge and research and thousands of researchers invested in the development of machine learning and artificial neural networks and deep learning until very, very recently, literally a few years ago, generative AI has exploded in front of our eyes, and we are trying now to learn about it, right? Large language models are just part of this explosion of generative AI. And now we're going to try and understand what are large language models. Okay, and ChatGPT is one example, and I'm pretty sure most of you heard about ChatGPT at least. And of course, many of you said 2, 3, 4, and 5, and even some 7s. Okay, but let's now try and understand what these are. Okay, now I'm showing you my plan for the guide and how we're gonna approach this topic. 1 second, I'm gonna share my screen. So my guide is gonna be a document. Well, it's gonna be actually a variety of things that I thought would be useful for all of you, and you will receive this material. It's going to be, first of all, I wanted to have some kind of a really accessible, short, easy to read, non-technical guide for teachers, right? That explains what large language models actually mean. And I'm gonna hide something here and I will share my screen in just a second. Okay. So I've put together this prompt, and I was actually inspired by one of the articles, recent articles, and I follow a series of articles that the idea there is that researcher takes every time 3-4 different tools or apps, and it's like a war, AI war, little game, and compares the output. So he takes the same prompts and copy paste in different tools and see, and then we can actually understand the differences between these tools, because most of the tools are identical in their, like, the variety of things you can do with them. So let's begin. I'm creating this teacher's exclusive guide to large language models for you, and I need this deep and accurate analysis of LLMs. So in addition to the list of 20 things that I thought were related and I tested myself and I know a lot about each one of them, I want to actually create something that is accessible to large numbers of teachers. So first of all, I want to make sure that the 20 tools that I created, that I tested, they are actually LLMs, not all of them are. And then I will show you the table that actually shows you a clear breakdown on what is the name of the company that created this large language model, what is the name of the platform that this large language model works on, because sometimes it's not the same thing. We can have the name of the company does not equal the name of the platform, and the name of the platform does not equal the name of the model. And this causes a lot of confusion, I guess. In addition to all of these AI tools that we have, we also have sometimes a confusion in terminology, and I want to solve this confusion. So you know what? I have a little plan here that I have come up with, and we will start with the essentials. The outcome of the beginning of this series of sessions, webinars, is going to be conceptual literacy. By conceptual literacy, I mean that all of the teachers, all of you guys, including myself and all of my colleagues here who are working on this topic, we want to make sure to have the same kind of understanding of the terms. So when we say AI, what do we mean? When we say large language model, what do we mean? And we don't want to have also confusion between names of the tools, because some of the tools work on several large language models. So how does this all work, right? So we want this kind of conceptual basis, right? Understanding of the difference between companies, products, LLMs, and so on. There are some terms that I'm not sure whether we will actually discuss them today in detail, but I will be mentioning them maybe in the future. So we will understand what a large language model is. We will talk about the meaning of the words. These are a little bit techy words, but you probably heard them and you need to know what they mean, right? So what are the tokens, right? What do they mean? Training. Why do large language models need training? What are prompts? We already discussed, and outputs, you know what they are. Outputs is what we get from the tool. Prompts is we had a whole session, number 2 by Kostas Petridis, about prompting, prompt engineering, and how to write prompts. So these are not new terms, but training refers to how the models are trained and improved. Okay, sometimes it's based on what we share, so we need to be careful there. And tokens. Okay, this is like the foundational terminology. Another word that you've probably heard about is hallucinations. We'll talk about what these are and why they happen. There is a big question for us educators, why large language models sound so confident, right? Because they can still be wrong, but they really sound confident. Then I'll show you the table of the comparison of all of this. So we are trying to establish the foundational understanding of the differences between large language models, company names, models inside large language models, and platforms and apps and all of that, okay? I'm not showing you the next session because it's going to be too much, but I want to show you like maybe a nice metaphor. And then I'll also demonstrate this metaphor in many different contexts, and this might actually bring some clarity to you, because I want you to finish today's session not like, oh my God, Elena showed us another 20 tools. What are we going to do? Like the feeling of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out something. don't worry about the number of tools, right? The most important thing for me is to give you the clarity, the foundation of the conceptual understanding of what all of these tools, what do they mean? Some of them are models, some of them are just companies, some of them are tools, and what can they do for us also, right? So the idea here, I will give you several metaphors. One of the metaphors that AI suggested to me was a company, a car company metaphor. So when we talk about like the first layer, we have a company name, right? So the name of the company that, or lab, they also call them labs or companies that that created these large language models. Okay, so I'll immediately give you an example, right? OpenAI is the name of a company. And the large language model that OpenAI created is called ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT is the family of large language models. It's like a model family or family of models. I would not say large language models, right? But it is actually each one of them is a large language model in a way. So are you familiar with ChatGPT, AI, OpenAI? So like these are not new terms, right? Say yes or no in the chat. Please, I want to see if you're with me, if it goes well. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so there is clarity, right? OpenAI is the name of the company. When we talk about large language models, we actually talk about the family of models. And the reason I'm calling it family is because inside just one ChatGPT, we have lots of different versions, lots of different mini models. And when we look at today's version of ChatGPT, so this is pretty old, right? 4.0, 4.1, 3.5 is very, very old. It doesn't even exist anymore, I think, even in free ChatGPT. So the current updated ChatGPT, who knows what the number is? Write in the chat. What is the current number of the most updated version? It's already before up, go up, go up. Costas, go up. Sarah, go up. So it's not 5 anymore, it's 5.2, exactly 5.2. It's just so crazy. You know, this webinar, in a few days, it's going to be so outdated, so obsolete. So this is so I still believe in this kind of work because the speed, the rate of development is outstanding, right? It's just, imagine we meet again at the end of December 2026. We might be in a totally different world, I hope. I mean, it's very interesting how things develop so quickly. So yeah, we're now in ChatGPT 5.2, right? And we think, wow, it's such a new model. In 1 year, we'll have, I don't know, 7.8, whatever. Okay, so there are many different models. I can even show you a little bit from inside. So we are, here's my ChatGPT. I'll show it to you quickly. Okay, here. So when it comes to the current version of ChatGPT, I will enlarge my screen. So we currently have ChatGPT 5.2, and we have several versions inside. So these are sub-models, right? So the name of the large language model is ChatGPT, but the name of the model inside, so it's a model family, and then there are little kind of siblings, right? We have auto mode, instant mode, thinking mode, and we can even access, so 5.1, whoever thought this was the latest, it's already legacy mode. It's already outdated, okay? Both instant and thinking. And we can even access 4.40 because people really got angry and complained when ChatGPT it replaced all the previous siblings of 4.40 because people actually developed relationships with ChatGPT in a good sense, because ChatGPT 4.0 learned to sound like some people who use them well, right? Who provided all the information for prompting, and suddenly ChatGPT 5, it's different. It has its own personality. You can actually go and set it up and go into the settings and change the personality, and lots of new updates here. So these are called models inside large language model ChatGPT. Back to our main screen. The platform where this family lives, right, is called ChatGPT. And then when it comes to features or tools, what does ChatGPT do for us? What can it do? It does tons of things. We have a chat where like text can be generated, right? We can generate images, we can generate video, data analysis, we can create custom bots, we can use voice mode inside ChatGPT, we can use browsing, so we can do actual internet search and research with ChatGPT. We can do, and it's not everything. There is agentic AI, so we can use ChatGPT as an agent, so it can actually perform things, perform stuff for us. There is what else? Coding. Is it not here? It's not here, but there is obviously agentic AI also means that it actually produces artifacts for us. It can generate code for us. It can generate websites for us. And we users, teachers who don't even know what LLM stands for, can suddenly code, believe it or not. We can ask for a website, we can ask for an app, we can ask for a game, for interactive presentation, especially for teaching purposes. We can ask for all of this to be created for us, and it's done with the code behind the scenes. And we're just asking in language, right? We can say I need a interactive presentation with buttons, with clickable elements, with gamification, with quizzes, all of this in my slides. And ChatGPT can do it for us as well, as of December 2025. I'm pretty sure we're still early on in the Gen AI development, even though it's already overwhelming for most users, right? Beginner users especially, but the amount of things you can do with AI is crazy. So this is just one example, one LLM, right? So we're back to LLM. So whenever in the future, and I'm sure you will hear this abbreviation, right? You're taking this professional development series and course, right? We do want you to have, the foundational terminology also developed and aligned and conceptualized. So in addition to knowing what AI is and generative AI and prompting, now you will know also what LLM stands for, and we'll come back to this further. I want to point that again back to the analogy to the car, right? And car company. So we have a company name like OpenAI. LLM, let's just try and understand what it is, right? And with the metaphor, I have lots of metaphors for you. So one metaphor is the car. So we have a company, but we also have an engine, and there are many different engines. And and these engines can be used not only by one company, but for many different companies, right? So LLM is like an engine. And then for the same engine, there are many different models, right? Depending on the year. So there is going to be a variation of model versions inside the LLM, inside the agents. And then there is a car dashboard, or in our case of using AI, it can be a platform, it can be an app, it can be a website, it can be an additional product with any name, actually, right? It doesn't have to be the same name, but it can actually run on the same engine. And then each one of these platforms or car dashboards have their own different features and tools, right? And I talked about features and tools, and I will give you the full table of all different features that AI offers to us. So what is important to understand is that platforms do not equal large language models. So when we say ChatGPT, yeah, in this case, it's the same. We have ChatGPT, and which is GPT family, right, of large language models, but not always. For example, in Perplexity, and Perplexity is the name of the company. And those of you who are not familiar with Perplexity, you have obviously a link to it in our Moodle website. We'll probably have a session about Perplexity because it's a wonderful, wonderful tool. I have access to Perplexity Pro, which I got for free for 1 year. And we'll see if it still works. Maybe I can share the hack with you. All you need is to just simply Google Perplexity PayPal subscription. And those of you who have a PayPal, most of you probably have, you just link your PayPal account to Perplexity. It's done automatically for you on Google, and you receive 12 months of Perplexity Pro, the premium model, for free. So the only thing I do when I do these free, offers, when I find them, I mark my calendar, not to forget to cancel all the things that I linked, so that in 1 year I'm not going to be charged hundreds of dollars for all the things that I found for free for 1 year. I also have a free access to some other tools, but some of them I pay, obviously, like full price. So when I show you my ChatGPT model, it might look different because I have a paid ChatGPT. And when it comes to Google, let's see, Google is not in the list right here. But when it comes to Google, Google has Gemini, Google has Notebook LM. There are many interesting products inside Google. So Google is the name of the company, right? Let me just show it to you. It's not here. It's going to come up later. So Google is the name of the company, and there is Gemini, and there is Gemini Free, Gemini Pro, Gemini, all kinds of them, and you can definitely test them all. So for today, I literally did the same experiment as that researcher. I took this prompt. Actually, this is the prompt. I have written this prompt saying that I'm developing a guide, a teacher's guide to large language models, and I need a full list. Well, I don't need the full list because there are lots of models that are enterprise or privately owned that we don't even know them, or we might find the name, but it's not helping us. So we don't need the full name of, I don't know how many we have, maybe hundreds of large language models. We just need to know some basic ones. So my list from our impact model is this list, right? So I've personally tried and tested ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Cohere, DeepSeek, Grook, Gwen, Latimer, and all these. They are links, so you can just click on them. You don't have to search for them. You can literally just go and explore them. And I'm just checking with the AI whether there is something that I've missed, another important LLM that I've missed from my list. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, I know it up front, but I just also wanted to test that AI is not going to hallucinate. So some of these names are not large language models. So this is important. I have this a quality assurance analysis when the AI answers. So I have this prompt that I'm creating the guide, and I'm going to do it in a deep and accurate analysis. So I'm going to use the deep research feature, which most LLMs, most platforms have. So let me show you some of the results, okay? Let's begin with ChatGPT because everyone here almost knows what it is and have tried it. So when I asked my ChatGPT, I gave it this prompt, right? Let's see. You see, it started generating kind of like additional list of additional LLMs, and it says, well, this is a good enough list. We don't need the full list, okay? There is a very long list that we don't need. And for many of you, all you knew up until now was just OpenAI, ChatGPT. That's it, right? Some of you heard about Claude. So the company name for Claude, many of you also know it. It's called Anthropic. So if you heard the word Anthropic, it's the company name of the large language model called Claude. Okay. When it comes to Google, Google has another company inside Google called DeepMind. I don't know if you knew that. I actually learned this from my students several years ago when my business English students at Western Galilee College presented different companies, and somebody talked about DeepMind, which is a Google company. So they have developed Gemini family. There is a huge family inside Gemini with all kinds of models. I'll show it to you today. Microsoft does have its own large language model, apparently. But Copilot is not a large language model. Copilot uses ChatGPT. Cohere is another company. It's a Canadian company. They have a large language model called Command, right, family. Then there is Grook, and believe it or not, Grook is very, very popular among my students. Your students as well, our students, let's call them our students, because if you ask them, some of them use Grook. I don't know how they found it before me, but they use it regularly for some reason. And even in the papers that I read about AI, where, you know, this researcher, he compares ChatGPT, right? Classic, Claude, he compares Perplexity. It's not even in this list. We'll get back to it. And Grok, apparently Grok is really, really powerful, well, even when it comes to deep research. So I'll show you Grok as well today. I actually opened it somewhere here. I will demonstrate it soon. So Grok is the name of the large language model. The name of the company that owns Grok is XAI, Elon Musk, right? It's former Twitter, so it's XAI actually. Grok is AI, large language model, owned by XAI, and it is also a standalone website. Let me show you where it is. I don't know why it's not open here, because I already opened it here. So Grok AI, let me show you quickly. It is fast. No, it's not. It's another one. Chatly AI. Oh my God, there are so many things. Like you just go to it, and they all look the same. They all look just like ChatGPT, believe it or not. Okay, so for some reason it shows me again in English, and I already logged in. So for some reason, I'm just demonstrating that it looks very similar to ChatGPT, but it is excellent. It is really powerful. I don't have a paid account here, so we can literally explore and receive exactly the same results, you and I. Okay, so this is Grok, right? We have auto, we have fast. Auto means that it chooses on its own, it decides for us which model. So we are currently located on a platform called Grok.com. This platform runs its own LLM, large language model called Grok. The company that owns all of this is XAI by Twitter, right? And there are many different submodels. So this is a family, and let's look at the little siblings, right? We have a fast Grok, we have expert Grok, we have Grok 401, super Grok, we need to update, and there is something heavy and custom instructions. Okay, so what I did today, I gave it a prompt, the same prompt that I gave to ChatGPT and to Claude. Let me show you Claude. Claude also looks like this. I mean, again, Claude, let me go back. We are trying to understand what large language models are. Claude is a large language model. Claude.ai is a platform, is a website that runs on a large language model on the Claude family. And within the Claude family, we have a lot of siblings. We have Sonnet, Opus, Haiku. These are different models and more models. And all of these are submodels living in a large language model called Claude, okay? All of this is owned by the company called Anthropic. So we have Anthropic owns Claude. When it comes to teacher use and preferences, I know that many of you use mostly ChatGPT. Actually, some of my colleagues in Israel use only Claude because Claude is extremely powerful. It's sometimes, very often, much better when it comes to writing and longer writing. It can actually sound more like your own voice. It also is very, very powerful when it comes to, you see, you have the learn mode, you have the coding, very powerful coding. Even though, like, who needs coding? We're teachers, right? I teach, I don't know, arts, or I teach music, I teach English. Why do I need to know coding? You don't. That's the beauty. You just need to ask for whatever you need. You want a game that teaches students this and this, and AI knows how to write the code and create this game, right? So you don't need to know code anymore. This is the beauty. So when it comes to different, you see, there are different buttons that you need to click wherever you go. It's they're all very similar. You have a main kind of chat window. You have a choice of model. Sometimes you choose automatically. Sometimes you need to maybe read and understand what's better for you, for your task. Do you want most capable for complex work, which is kind of higher level model, or based for everyday tasks, or maybe you need quick responses and then you want the fastest model. So based on different features, you will probably go from one to another. sometimes, right? When I do some deep preparation, some like research analysis, even preparing for a lesson, right? For a lecture or something related to projects, I actually tend to go to higher level, most capable deep research models, hoping that they will give me better results. But sometimes, again, based on my experience, this is not the case. Even when you go to the paid deep thinking version of Gemini Pro, it sometimes gives you worse results than the free one. So don't feel that you're missing on not having access to all the paid tools out there. Honestly, from my own experience, sometimes paid does not give you better. It's just paid. And it sometimes gives you worse results. And I know because I use the same prompt and I put them in the same tool, paid, free, this, and I compare. And I see that the paid sometimes give you worse results, much worse results. I don't know why. I'm not against paid. I'm just saying that you don't have to feel that you're missing out if you don't have access to this. Now, when it comes to the plus, you always have to explore the plus because you will want to know what's out there. So in addition to web search, and many of these tools do allow you to search and get the answers based on the information available on the whole internet, right? You will also want to explore the research mode, right? There is separate mode for research in all of these models. They have different names. They have deep thinking, deep research, all kinds of names. You want to explore the styles, different styles, and there are different styles in Claude. There are different styles in ChatGPT as well. You just go to your settings and you can choose the style. And there are many different things that you can do with. Again, you can add knowledge base, you can add files and work with this. Okay, so back to our prompt and what I got from this. So when I asked for a summary, so let me show you. I got this lovely table, and I will show you more because it's just the beginning from the prompt itself, from the large language model itself. But then I also asked for additional resources and I got them, like PDF files, a guide that is ready for like sharing with other teachers. I asked for a website and it created a website with the buttons. I'll show it to you in a sec. All right, so here's the initial table that I got, and I think it's really powerful already. We have the company name here listed separately. We have the name of the large language model listed separately. We have the platform name or the app name, right? And we have some model names inside each platform, each large language model. Then we have some notes, important notes for educators, because it knows that I need it for you guys, for you to have some value, right? To choose our use cases. Which model do we choose? Where do we go? Honestly, don't go just to one tool. My big advice would be not to use only ChatGPT or only Grok or only Perplexity. Each use case has a different application. And even if you think that Claude is better for something, use Claude and another 3. This is what I teach my students, and let's go into the actual table. So we have, in addition to ChatGPT, right, we have Anthropic Claude that I showed you with a platform called Claude AI. There are several models inside. Now, what's another thing that is important to know is where can you use this, right, as an educator? Let me go down. You see all of these are LLMs. So as an educator, you will encounter ChatGPT inside Copilot. You see it is already listed as a latest model 5.2. So actually Copilot today is powered by ChatGPT 5.2. This is an advice. This is a piece of advice from already like a couple of years ago, even from the beginning of like paid launch of ChatGPT. People who talked about Copilot, they would say, okay, go and use Copilot. If you don't have access to paid ChatGPT, go and try Copilot by Microsoft for free. And you will actually be using the paid latest and most powerful OpenAI's ChatGPT model. Do you know what I mean? Like there is access. This is like a hack, right? If you don't pay for a paid version of ChatGPT and you want to see the results that it can give you, go to Copilot, because Copilot works on with OpenAI, and they actually use the latest paid model of ChatGPT. Now, Perplexity. Perplexity appears here because it also offers access to ChatGPT. And there are some other platforms. Again, there are some other platforms, not large language models. These are called platforms or websites or apps that give you access to the same large language model, ChatGPT. And you see they appear several times. So there is you.com, there is Boodlebox. We'll have a session about it in the future as well. These platforms give you access to large language models, to the multiple large language models. For example, when you go to Boodlebox or you will get access to ChatGPT, to Claude, to Gemini, and more, including Llama and some others. Okay, let me go back and show you some other companies. This is already getting a little bit more advanced. So when it comes to Perplexity, this is Perplexity, just an example. I gave it also the same prompt. I asked for the guide and I received the guide literally in format of files. So here's your guide, here's your chart, here's your website. It actually generated a website for me. Let me show it to you here. 1 second. There is a chart and chart. I don't know if you can see it as yeah, there is a generated app. Look what literally Perplexity created for me. It created a website, LLM Explorer, large language model, where I can say, okay, I need research and citations, cheap, and it gives me the models that have this feature. So I don't know. I didn't even ask for it. It just created something. I can compare large language models. So let's compare Gemini with Gwen, which is Alibaba, and Gemini free. We have ProFlash and free. Let's compare with Perplexity AI. Side-by-side comparison. Speed, cost, is it multimodal? So this is something that Perplexity literally generated for me as an app, and I can share this with you or with my students. I wouldn't share this particular website because I don't think it has value, but I didn't work on it hard. I just gave it a prompt and asked for something. So there is a chart, there is like comparing between ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, DeepSeek, Llama, Qwen, and Mistral, and they're all the different features that are available among different LLMs. So does it allow you, and the level of coding, for example, we have very powerful coding platforms like ChatGPT and Claude and DeepSeek, and some weaker options. When it's red, it means that it doesn't have the feature. Data analysis, research citations, image analysis, image generation, text generation. So all of these is a table chart generated by Perplexity in a matter of seconds, maybe minutes. I don't know, because I launched the same prompt in several LLMs simultaneously, so it took some time. What's really important here, the reason you want to try Perplexity is because you literally receive sources. It's not, it's less prone to hallucinate, to come up with like wrong information or made up information, because it's built upon the real sources and real articles, real research. Okay, so when it comes to citations, you can always go and check where the sources. When it writes, sometimes there are literally like citations next to sentences, so you can literally click and see the source of information. Okay, so Perplexity generated a guide for me. I can show it to you. I'll just upload everything on the Impact Moodle, because I don't think I have enough time to show you all the guides, all the beautiful guides that I generated. Claude, let me show you Claude, because Claude really generated an amazing guide for us. for teachers on this use case. So here it is. Not only guide in terms of, it really generated a wonderful PDF, which I can download or open in my Drive. It also generated a website. So let me show it to you. This website is, wow. Like it was generated in a matter of a few minutes. Let me give you the link. I can publish it. Publish and copy link. Copy link. I'll put it in the chat just to demonstrate what you can do today with LLMs. And this is just an example from Claude. So when you click on this link in the chat, it takes you to the website that was developed as a result of my query to create a teacher's guide to large language models for understanding AI tools for education, right? 2025 edition, because literally tomorrow it's going to be over. It's going to be obsolete. It's going to be not relevant. But look at this website, and it was generated by Claude. So we have terminology. We have, and when it comes to terminology, it's what I presented to you, right? We have to distinguish, when it comes to terminology, we have to distinguish between names of companies, and examples would be OpenAI and Anthropic, to the names of large language model families, GPT and Claude, to the actual models used inside these large language models. And then there are names of platforms. So ChatGPT is not just a large language model or AI. It's not a company as well, right? It's just the name of the platform of the website. By the way, some companies sometimes do rebranding and they change the name of their products, right? It's the name of the website, which actually might change, but it doesn't mean that the large language model itself will change. So when it comes to the understanding what a large language model is, I know I still haven't gotten to this part to explain how it works. Maybe we'll do it already next week. But so this is the name of the platforms, and I told you there are other metaphors we can compare. So in addition to the car metaphor, we need to understand that, let's say school, I don't really like these particular metaphors. I have a better one. And a restaurant group as the name of the company, cuisine type as the name of the large language model. A specific menu is the model, particular model that is used in your chat. Location is the name of the platform. It's just the location of the restaurant. And the features would be dishes available, right? What's available on service. And sometimes it's also what kind of service is available. Is it drive-in or like delivery and all that? Okay, so when it comes to the actual list of different companies and LLMs, this is what Claude generated for us, is in a website. Pretty powerful, isn't it? Like OpenAI is the name of the company. It owns the large language model family GPT that owns the platform named ChatGPT. And they have a new product that actually appears in our impact list. It's called ChatGPT Atlas browser. It's a new product for those of you who are Mac users, not Windows. It doesn't work on Windows yet, but it does work on Mac and iPhone. You can download. My students, those of them who have Apple computers, they actually use ChatGPT Atlas browser. It's a new browser. By browser, again, for those of you who are not techie and maybe have problems understanding all these words, browsers, examples of browsers can be Google Chrome is the browser, Edge is the browser of Microsoft. We have a new Comet browser by Perplexity. It's an agentic browser. I will demonstrate in future sessions. So there is a Comet browser. Neo is the name of the browser. Browser is actually a software that you download on your computer. You have to download it, install it, and then you can use it. So it's similar to, again, Google Chrome is the most commonly used browser, right? So questions? Let's see. We're running out of time, and I'm just beginning to enjoy and share all these different names.
I cannot see any questions.
Yes.
No.
No, but there are some thanks and
Yeah.
impressive comments, okay, that teachers are impressed with the table. Okay, so just a few words before we finish for today. We'll wrap it up for today. Next week, when we reconnect, or our next session, whenever it is, you will be playing a quiz. We will have a quiz, like a Kahoot together, and some kind of checking of knowledge, and we'll see whether you remember all these different facts that I presented today. And I want you to have a little bit more clarity, right? With all these different names of platforms, companies, large language models, what do these mean actually, right? So you obviously know that Google is the name of the company. There is another company, DeepMind, remember, that owns large language model Gemini, which has different platforms, right? There is a Gemini app platform which runs many different models inside. One of the large language models that we need to discuss, and we will discuss, this is extremely useful for education. It's Llama. Llama is a large language model owned by Meta. Meta is the name of the company, right? So the reason Llama is extremely valuable for us in education, first of all, it's open source. Means that there are many different Llama options that are open for free download. And the special feature of Llama is that it works offline. So we will learn in this course, in the next few sessions, how to actually install AI or download Llama and use it on your own personal computer, which makes the use of AI more private, right? This is how companies use AI. This will actually limit, you don't have to upload personal information on the internet. You will use it only inside your computer. So it's extremely valuable, and we will talk about Llama. I'll talk about Grook today. Grook is LLM owned by XAI. DeepSeek is a Chinese company owned by the company named DeepSeek, okay? There are other models like Qwen and Kimi. Kimi is another Chinese AI, which I learned when I taught in China. Cohere is the Canadian company that owns AI LLM family command. Don't worry, guys, I will not be asking you tough questions about models you probably have never heard of and probably will never even test. You don't have to. This is my job. This is my passion. I test all these different AI to find like some kind of magic and miracle use cases that I will share with you. I will tell you exactly where to go and what to do, so you don't have to memorize all this. But the basics, I think all of us in education, even if I teach music or arts or I don't know, mechanical engineering, I think I need to know this is like a basic knowledge, right? Because this is everywhere on the news. So you guys are encouraged to look at this table. I've shared the link. It's going to be on our Moodle on Impact. And the homework is to go through this terminology again. Make sure you understand the difference between the name of the company, the name of large language model family, and many different models inside. We will continue this discussion next time, and I will show you exact use cases. All right.
So, Elena, we are going to have a session on the 29th
Yes,
of
yes.
December.
Next
Okay,
week, next
so I will
Monday, we will
update.
continue.
I will update, the people that they have registered. And also, I would like to remind you that today, but this is not a lecture, it's going to be more than an interview, but we are going to have a professor from Old Dominion University, Helen Crompton, who is, the main research is AI in higher education with an impressive CV on the topic that we are sharing with you every Monday. So if you would like to participate, you cannot switch on your microphone, but you can ask questions during the interview that we are going to have. However, the interview will be available through our channels and within our community. This is from us, Elena. Today it's
Thank you very
Ellen's Day.
much. Yes,
Ellen's
I
Day
see
today.
that you posted Costas in the chat. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I hope you will connect also next Monday. We
Before
are
Happy New
here
Year. Yes.
before Happy New Year. Yeah. So for those who celebrate, Merry Christmas in the meantime, and I see you next Monday. We will continue our discovery of large
Let's see.
language models and AI tools for educators. Thank you very much.
Just a moment. Tatiana, very fast because
You're
You
on
are
mute.
muted. I mean,
Yes.
Sorry. Just very fast, where on which channel it is possible to
I have sent you an
join?
email. I have sent you an email. Check your
Okay.
email. Yes?
Okay. Thanks.
All right. All right.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Happy
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Elena.
Thanks,
Bye.
Fran.
Costas, Costas,